as a side over the last few years. All our bowlers are able to bat. Sometimes we've had Adil Rashid at number 11, who's got about 10 or 11 first-class hundreds. So that's been a huge part of us as a side. That never say die attitude to take games deep, and a lot of our bowlers who are very, very accomplished batsmen as well. So I think we take a lot of heart from that, a lot of encouragement, and Sam played an outstanding innings there, and he'll take a lot from that moving forward, even though the disappointment of losing the game.
Mark Wood as well, stepping up at the end there. He seemed to be struggling while he was bowling, although he took three wickets. What was the issue then? He seemed to be taking on a lot of fluids throughout the early part of the game.
Yeah, he was. It was obviously very hot. I think he'd been feeling a bit unwell. So he'd spent a bit of time off the field, feeling pretty unwell as well. So when he came back on, he bowled fantastically well again, and we couldn't get him to bowl earlier because of the time he'd spent off the field. Just a very hot day and feeling a bit unwell, but showed great character to come and bowl as much as he did, and to take the wickets he did, and put together a great partnership again at the end with Sam to nearly get us there.
And just finally, it means that England lost all three compartments of the series, but what do you take away from this time in India, positive and negative, I suppose?
Yeah, absolutely. We come here wanting to win. We play the game to win matches and to win series, and in the must-win games at the end of the T20 and the one days, we haven't quite managed to do that. So, of course, we're disappointed with that. But there'll be some great learnings taken from the tour, some great exposure to players playing in this part of the world for the first time, and I think once again expanding the talent pool available to us in one-day cricket, building ahead to the T20 World Cup in a few months' time, and of course the 2023 World Cup later on down the line in here as well. So anytime we expand that player pool, that creates competition, that creates better performance, and that's the upward trajectory that we're always after as a side, that continuous improvement.
Thanks a lot, Joss. All the best in the IPL.
Thank you.
Can you just talk us through what you personally and maybe the rest of the team were going through in the dugout at the end there? There was drop catches, overturned LBW decisions. It was chaos for a little bit of time on the field, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was, absolutely, and some brilliant batting mixed in there as well. So I think there's always some genuine belief. The run rate was never really the issue. We felt even when Adil and Sam got together, they played brilliantly well and were whittling down the score. And then great for Sam to take the ownership he showed and to take us all the way down to the wire. So I think any time the game starts to become within reach, that's when it almost starts to get harder, and everyone seems to be a bit more nervous, and and everyone on the ground started to get a bit tense, and the guys in the dugout as well. But we're all very proud of the way Sam played. He showed all the traits that we know he has in abundance, and the character and the skill level, and he embodies what we're about as a team.
When he was joined by Mark, he didn't seem to know whether to take the singles or to let Mark have the strike. How did that resolve itself? Was there a message run out to them, or did you just let them figure it out for themselves?
Yeah, we felt that Sam should try and take the majority of the balls, especially to how well he can strike the ball, and on one side there's a smaller boundary, so we felt that was going to give us the best chance of getting us over the line, that the more balls Sam could face. So and of course Sam's a young guy who would, many guys are never really exposed to that kind of situation in their whole career, so he'll take great learning from that. I can't think of many times myself I've ever been in those situations, so there's always a bit of suck it and see from the side, and for you guy in the middle to try and make that decision as to how to take the game forward the best. So he'll be much better equipped if he ever was in that situation before to look back on this experience. And I think I'm looking at it as well as a fellow player and the other guys in the team as to if we were in Sam's situation, how is the best way to take that game forward. So I think all of us in the team and the squad will have taken great learning from watching him and trying to think through how we would take that situation down individually as well.
He's still only 22. It feels like he's been around international cricket for a very long time. But over and over, it's his temperament that shines through, isn't it, as a real strength?
Yeah, absolutely. Like you say, he's a very young man still. So, but I think both him and Tom, anytime they're put in those situations, the two of them seem to have the character for the the crunch moments in games, and I think Sam just keeps showing what a match winner he is. Really, he came up with the wicket of Rishabh Pant as well. Anytime with the ball, he takes big wickets, whether it's in a Test match or one day at T20. He's a real impact player in the games, and he'll just continue to get better and better. Like you said, it's important to remember he is still only 22, and the scope of where he can take his game to is massive. So we're all very excited for him.
And just finally, it's been a long time in Asia, even though some guys have been able to get some time at home. You're not now going on to the IPL, and then there's all sorts to come in the rest of the year. You feel like you've got enough in the tank to get through that?
Yeah, I think as much as you can, it's baby steps. You're looking in the immediate future as much as you can, while still obviously having to have long-term planning and looking ahead. But for myself, it's about the next challenge just in front and trying to look ahead to that. I'm excited to play in the IPL. It's always a fantastic tournament. Like you say, lots of guys have had long tours. It's been great that everyone's welfare has been really looked after, and where it's been possible to get out of the bubble and back in. So I know we're all very thankful of that, to help with those situations. And again, it's about how we plan moving forward. That's got to be a part of that, the player welfare, and as an individual, just looking, for me, it's that those small targets and getting through the next bit.
Thank you.
Hi, good evening, Josh. Am I audible?
Yep.
Yeah, so throughout the series, Moeen Ali and Sam Curran have been your designated finishers. So what is your thought on them going and playing under someone like MS Dhoni for the entirety of the IPL season?
Yeah, I'm very excited for them. Don't know quite what roles they'll be used in for Chennai. That's obviously MS Dhoni's decision. But I'm sure Sam will want to talk to MS about tonight's innings. I'm sure that was shades of the way he would have tried to take that game down if he was in that situation. So what a great person for Sam to go and have a conversation with whenever it is he gets to meet up with MS about the game just gone. We all know what a amazing cricketer and finisher and player that MS Dhoni is. So again, it's a brilliant learning curve for all our players to get to share dressing rooms with guys, especially someone of MS's stature in the game.
So speaking about Sam, do you feel that somewhere down the line he can be utilized higher up the batting order for England in white ball cricket, red ball cricket, across formats?
Yeah, absolutely. We all know what a talented player Sam is, and the skill level he's got as a batter. Probably the situation this evening with him coming in so early and having the time shows just how much talent he's got, and the fashion that he can play for a long period of time in the game. It doesn't just have to be near the end. So we have a very strong squad. We have a lot of excellent batters in our team, and opportunities will arise at different times, and there'll be times where maybe even more so in T20 cricket, where you get someone padded up and say, we'd like you to go and there's a match up on and go and attack it. Sam's a fantastic six-hitter, and that's a big strength of his, and there'll be times especially when you want to utilise that early on.